My name's Amy B. Hi, and I'm an alignment and integration massage therapist and yoga teacher. And what that means is over my 20 plus years as a career, I've chosen to focus on these two fascinating subjects. Mainly the alignment is to do with the body and the fascia network and in how that affects our overall function. And the integration element is what I'd like to talk about today, of integration and regulation of the nervous system, including the brain. So integration, it's getting into greatness. It's bringing all parts of self home. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about a very physiological, neurological function that happens after every experience is the brain will unpack it and then file it away. This is an important part of our learning, but what can happen to us humans is a stressful situation occurs and we don't get to get that sense of completion, unpacking and integration. And we end up with these split off parts of selves. So there's an increasingly more renowned branch of psychology known as internal family systems, which recognizes that we have many parts of self inside of us. And you may become aware of this when you notice if you get triggered by a certain situation and this beast shows up to protect you, or perhaps there is a frightened part which actually takes you away. So this is a learned response from a certain part of self which has not been fully integrated from the past. So what happens is a situation will occur which brings stress up in the body, and it might not even necessarily be like a trauma situation. It might be an exciting new experience or a travel or a relationship event. But within this, there is a part of us which is born, which is retaining the wisdom from that situation. And in order to be able to have access to that wisdom on a future basis, we will need to integrate. So integration only happens in the present moment. And what our big brain does is quite often is it keeps revisiting the past to try and figure out what happened in the past. It's almost like it gets stuck there. So what we're going to work on is understanding today is that integration happens in the now. And we have to ground ourselves in the now whilst doing the unpacking and the filing away. So we are here, we are now, we are safe, we are okay, and we are growing and we are learning from our collective experiences. So this is a big reason why I'm such an advocate for daily practice. It gives us an opportunity to come back into now and then unpack and integrate anything that needs to happen in the brain. This also has a profound effect on the health of our body because our unintegrated experiences in the brain keep sending messages down to raise the heart rate, to also then raise the cortisol in the system, which can raise tension in the holding patterns of the body. We all have tension, we all have triggers, we all have unintegrated experiences. So let's get through it. The practices I'm going to share with you next are focused purely on creating a soft landing space for integration, but doing any of my AI yoga practices are going to support you in regulating your nervous system and coming back into optimal function. So take your own hand and take a deep breath. Out with a sound. Landing in the present moments. So when we hold our own hand, we become a container for our nervous system energy. So you may have seen in some of my previous videos, I invite you to protect your energy by crossing your arms like this or even placing down here. But just by taking your own hand at any moment, you then create a safe circuit for your body to feel present, held, and complete integration. I invite you now to squeeze your bottom. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those glutes. Deep breath in. Squeeze. And release. Now you can release your hands, open your palms, and squeeze your shoulder blades back like you're going to crush an orange between them. Deep breath in, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh, it feels so good. And relax. Take that hand again. When we squeeze the glutes and we also engage the lats, we turn on two of the biggest muscles in the body that holds our shoulders in a back and down position rather than the stress-induced up and forward position. We always finish our exercise routine by squeezing back on the lats and squeezing and working the glutes, because now I can go along into my daily life with a open, safe, integrated posture. Things that you can do right now, taking a deep breath, holding your own hand, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your lats. It brings your body into a position of safety where we're not in a reactive state anymore. And the integration can be really effective. Next breathing is really effective for bringing us back to safety in the moment. We're going to do box breathing together. So if you're not familiar with this, you breathe in, you hold, you breathe out, you hold. Just want you to relax in the present. If you haven't uncrossed your legs, put your feet on the floor. Anchor into this moment. Coming home to yourself. So with me now, so breathe out to relax. And we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold empty, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again in, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, you're doing great. 3, 4, 5. Hold empty, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. In, hold, out, hold. Last time. In, 4, 5. Hold, 4, 5. Out, 4, 5. Empty, 4, 5. Now just relax and just feel your body. And notice the different energy within your body. Ensuring you created a safe environment in your home space and in your body. Depending what you've been through and what kind of work you've already done, please be soft with yourself. Creating anchors in the present moment. So you might have something like, say, this crystal here that you hold in your hand. And you allow yourself to sit and to think. Or maybe there's an essential oil. You can take a deep inhale. Anchored in the present moment. You allow your mind to wander to experiences that you've had in a dreamlike state with curiosity and compassion. Now, it's very true that we often get very attached to a certain story or a dialogue about a situation. Now, your story is entirely valid and it does deserve to be heard. But we do need to practice a non-attachment of having our stories validated by the people around us. Otherwise, we end up holding on to them. Take a deep breath. Breathe out with a sound. If you are feeling you need more understanding for what happened to you, then I invite you to speak to a therapist or a trusted friend. If you have no one to speak to hold space for you, you're welcome to reach out to me. I will do just that though, I will just hold space. Because having someone come into your dialogue and start to project their own dialogue on there is only going to exacerbate the attachment process to an event that has happened in the past and is no longer happening. So you do need to release yourself from the story so that you can receive the wisdom and come into safety and clarity in the now. Integrate wholeness, grow, move forward. Within this, you show yourself the greatest amount of compassion as possible. Also able to have compassion to other components of the story. Is that we understand if we are hearing one side of the argument, that it is only one side. And that we can only truly experience this world from our own side. But we are so intelligent and we have such conviction, compassion and honesty that we are able to see the bigger picture. This is why we have these big brains that overanalyze things. It's always trying to find, did I miss something here? What we can inform ourselves of is, yes, we did miss something. The other person's point of view, because we can only see things from our point of view. we have an understanding of what happened, and we have an understanding that we are not going to allow ourselves to be in compromising situations. Placing your hand on your heart, I invite you to say to yourself that I am grateful for my experiences. I have learned so much. I am continuing to learn in the present moment. I release any negative holding from my mind and my body. And I integrate trust and positive feelings in this present moment and moving forward from now. You made it through. You wouldn't be here and now if you hadn't. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. So part of the integration process is receiving that understanding of how an experience had an effect on us and being able to recognize what is left unprocessed. And these represent themselves often as triggers and stress responses. So there are two main types of stress responses. There's armored and unarmored. So we are aware of fight or flight, and that's when we're armored and we are able to take a stand to protect ourselves. And then when we feel unarmored and we feel vulnerable, this is when we fawn or we freeze. So what is your response when a stressful situation occurs? Are you noticing yourself overreacting potentially to a situation that's perceived harmful because there's been harmful situations in the past rather than the situation being harmful in the now? Or do you find yourself shutting down and pulling away or judging people unfairly? Again, because of something that's happened in the past that isn't happening in the now. If you are finding you are in continual compromising situations in the now, then please do reach out to someone, that friend, that therapist, or myself, who will hold space for you to help you to understand that you do potentially need to make a few changes in your physical environment in order to return to safety so then you can process. I understand it's really hard to process a stressful situation that is ongoing. You really do need to come into a space of safety in order to be able to process and integrate. But there are little hacks that we can bring in, and that is creating safety in this body. So even if there is still continuation of stress, what we can do is with tapping of the chest and of the shoulders, you have this executive function here in the brain. So what happens during a stressful situation is we slip down into the survival brain, which is known as the mammalian brain, and we then have a choice. What are we going to do? So this is where then we can take control, we can armor ourselves, or we can remove ourselves. We're unarmored and we need to go protect ourselves. So what we can do to create a sense of protection, but empowered protection. We're not fighting or fleeing. Instead, cup in your hands, back, chest. We're saying we are here and we are capable. And also we could be like, yes, 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 yes. So we're not going, no, 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 no. We're opening up to the yes. And the yes is, I trust myself. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. Try it. Cup your hands. Yes, I've got this. 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 And if you need to, you can create that closed circuit for protection here. And you can say to yourself, me, I've got this. I'm so proud of you. And I feel really good about being able to face these situations, empowered, integrated being. Yes. And what we're doing here is we are integrating in the moment, and we are actually bypassing that trigger or that trauma, which may then return later. We're also filling ourselves with endorphins with this, yes, 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 I'm achieving, I'm achieving, I'm achieving, I'm achieving. So please always be achieving. whatever is happening, you got out of bed. Yes. you recognize the situation was bad for you. Yes. Come on. You've got this. You're protecting yourself and you're creating a wave of positive reinforcement in your body. So it's good to understand the difference between this, whether I'm blocking or I'm not able to block, so I retreat, or I am armored with good feelings. Armor yourself with goodness. You got this. You got this. You got this. Following on from this, it's my pleasure to share a range of practices which are going to support your integration and a healthy nervous system regulation and a healthy body alignment. I hope you found this interesting today. I've waffled on for quite a bit. As you can see, I'm very passionate and dedicated to sharing on this subject. I'm going to be hosting a series of workshops up and down the East Coast in the first quarter of 2024. I'd really love to hear from you. We're going to have some great guest facilitators and collaborations. We're going to be sharing not only a heap of practices and wisdom, but also in retreat settings, which will give your body, mind, and spirit the chance to fully relax and come home. So make sure that you're following me online for all of the up-to-date information on my upcoming retreats and workshops, but also keep watching for a series of integration practice videos. My name is Amy B. It's been my absolute pleasure to spend time with you today, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.